All right, hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. How is it going? So, yeah, before we get into it, I want to remind everyone that Gunforged is available for sale. It's my 2D roguelite shooter with an emphasis on goofiness. That is my first commercial release as a full-time indie developer. So definitely check out the Steam page. Please consider purchasing it if you like my work and want to support me. And leave a review if you end up playing the game. I'd very much appreciate that. And I also have my Udemy courses available for sale. This is the Survivor Style course in Godot 4. This one is very popular, so it's a great way to support me and a great way to kickstart your Godot learning journey. But also, I'm in the process of working on another course, an online multiplayer co-op shooter kind of thing. So if you're interested in that, make sure to check out the links in the description below to find out all the ways you can be notified. You can follow me on my socials, subscribe to this channel because I'll publish a video announcing when it's available and all that good stuff. So Actually recorded a couple of lessons of that this morning, one of which I need to re-record because I did something wrong. So, you know, it's a slow process, but if you've taken one of my courses before, you should expect a similar level of quality. And let me think, is that it? I think that's it. All right, goodbye. So let's see. So today we're going to be working some more on the map. There's a ton of things that need to be addressed, and probably just going to be mostly just doing whatever sounds good to do with respect to the map, whether it's working on art or adding animations or cleaning up the decorations or working on the algorithm to make the nodes a little bit more appealing. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So wherever the wind blows is where I'll go. I do want to identify leaf nodes on the map and make sure there are no leaf nodes. I think that guaranteed backtracks are going to feel very bad, and a leaf node is a guaranteed backtrack. So what I'll probably want to do is identify the leaf nodes and then add a shortcut to a neighbor. So like this leaf node would go connect to that one. This leaf node could connect to that one or to that one. And this leaf node could connect to that one or to that one. Or both. You know, there's no reason I couldn't do both, I suppose. So yeah, that's the idea. Anyway, so let's say hi to everyone first. Hello, Craig. Welcome. Happy Friday to you as well. Yup. Welcome, Luca. Always good to see you. What he said. What is it? Is yup or happy Friday? I'm assuming happy Friday. Always good to see you, Adam. Welcome back. Kenny Az, welcome to you as well. Good to see you. In line for DSA quiz. Nice. I don't know what that is. The DSA, I think you mentioned what it is before. I just forget what the acronyms mean. I forgot what the acronyms mean. Anyway, let's see. So there's a bunch of issues here. I think I do want to maybe start adding some like traversal animation. I think that would be cool. Goodness gracious, there's a lot of work to do. Goodness. That's working pretty good though, honestly. And somebody suggested, was it Adam? Did you suggest highlighting the path, or was it Craig? Or maybe, apologies if I don't remember who it was, but highlighting the path that you've already taken would be good. Data structures and algorithms. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Thank you, Cosmotion. It wasn't me, but it's a good idea. All right, well, you get the credit, I guess. No, apologies to the one who did suggest that. I don't remember. Hello, Red Velvet. Happy Friday to you as well. That was myself, but it's possible someone else mentioned it before me. No, I think it was you, Craig. I think it was. Digital subscriber agreement. Yeah, digital service agreement. So we could add some traversal animations to this. You know what I'm actually feeling? I'm actually having a hankering for, I've been recording some course lessons today for the multiplayer course, so I'm going to take a break from that and do some art instead. Because these things are too flat. So I want to add like a flame inside of this lantern here. And I want to highlight the player and make it look as if it's being lit. That'll work. This here, let's see. We'll make the brighter parts brighter naturally. Okay. So far, so good. I think what I'll do is I'll actually change this. That's supposed to be like his hand, so we can make that actually brighter. Do I want to use the darker? Ooh, yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Here we will keep all of this sort of highlighted here. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work just fine. Not bad, not bad. Maybe a little bit of highlighting over here, just a tiny bit. And then we want to do the same hand here. Oops. Yes, perfect. We might as well make that lighter as well. This is supposed to be like a dagger here. Maybe we'll give this like orange. Ooh, that looks kind of bad. That looks better. It's a very small dagger, so it's not going to look the best. Honestly, I think that actually looks fine now. I don't think I'm going to go too much further on the... Maybe if I added a little bit of highlighting there. Or... let's see. No, I don't really like that. We'll just leave it the way it was. Cool. So I think the player looks better already. Let's check it out. Oops. I love the Tetris inventory. I've been thinking about how to implement something like it for a while. Hello, Nagi. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, it's fun. I think, you know, the grid inventory auto battler kind of thing it's a very cool genre because it's basically a strategy game, right? It's not like a real-time combat, and it's not even necessarily like a... It's all about the planning, basically, which I think is pretty fun. Look at that. The player looks so much better already. So we need to change the shading on the lantern there, and then also probably add some kind of particle to it. But that player looks so much better already, so I like that. Hello, Tor. Welcome, welcome. Good morning to you, Leonardo, as well. Did you ever get your issue fixed? Sorry, I was a little bit slow responding yesterday on Udemy, but... Hello, Emerson. One thing I like to use when making lights, I duplicate the light source layer and apply a blur effect. It's easy in Aseprite, just press F9, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that sounds like a good strategy. I think with this game, I'm not going to have any lighting. I'm still debating whether I want to do the CRT shader. It's a little bit too strong, but it's kind of cool. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to do lighting necessarily in this game. Anyway, let's change the shading for this. So we've got like the wick in there. Do I want to use orange for this? Do I want to use orange for that? I think the way I had it here was fine. There we go. And then these, we can probably just make those blue. I think that'll work. Yeah, that should be fine. Let's see what that looks like. Nice. Okay, much better. Much better. In words of the great Kineas, I hate that CRT shader for this game. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of it either. I'd probably leave it off. I think maybe some kind of post-processing could be cool, but yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. As mentioned in the comment, I tried to fix it by myself. It kind of worked, but as I said, it broke something else. Read your comment, but haven't had a time to mess with it yet, maybe for 2 days. Gotcha. Well, you can always, if you want to, Leonardo, you can send me a download link for your project and I can poke around and see what's going on. So if you want to host it on like Google Drive or something and make it publicly shareable, then I can, when I have time, I'll pull it down and check it out. Hello, Shirley. Happy Friday to you as well. Thank you so much for the $10. That's so sweet. Thank you. Thank you. Very much appreciate that. Always love to see that. Will fund my McDonald's habit. Thank you again. I'm trying to build and compile a sprite so I don't have to pay for it. I'm almost there, running into some issues as well. Very nice, yeah. I like the brighter colors on the lamp for sure. Makes it look lit. Yeah, I think so. Post-processing is always great, just the CRT specifically doesn't match the game in any way. True. We definitely need that Discord group. Okay, all right, I'll get on it. I should finish the course at least first. I don't know. I have so much to do. I have so much to do. Hello, K-Clouds, welcome. Good to see you again. Would you add some darker color to the back of the arm for the bits in shadow? I don't have a darker color. So the purple that you see is the darkest color I have, excluding the black color. So, I mean, what I could potentially do is I could paint in with black here somehow. Maybe add some dithering so it looks... Maybe I could do it down here as well. That doesn't look terrible, actually. Let's see. I mean, that would be like the best I could do, really. Let's see. Do we like the black dithering there? I'm not sure if I like that. I don't have enough like space to make it super detailed, so it kind of just looks weird, but I don't know. Maybe it looks okay. So kind of you, man, I just don't want to bother you. It seems busy. Also, if I fix it by myself, it would be amazing. So I'll try myself first, and then if I can't fix it, I'll post to you. Yeah, for sure. Whatever you're comfortable with. But yeah, it's always an option. You can always send your project. I think, you know, part of buying my courses is that you will get some level of continued support. So it's not just like, thanks for your money, I'm hiding. You know, I think part of the cost is like me being available to help with issues. So anyway, I don't know if I like that black dithering. The whole map detour has brought the game up to a whole new level. It's just so cool. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really liking it too. Obviously, there's a ton of problems here, but once I get the icons in place, once I make it look nice, yeah, I think I can already tell that this is a more interesting way of plotting your upgrades. That's a problem. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. But yeah, there's definitely potential here. So let's just see how far we can take this from a visual perspective today, and also from a functionality perspective. I'm gonna put this back. Not really a huge fan of that dithering there. It was a good attempt, but just put that back. Isn't he cute? Do you guys think this guy's cute? Look at him. It's just like a little hooded necromancer alchemist pillaging villages for ingredients and blood. I think it was better before. Yeah, I agree. It's amazing that you provide that kind of support. Even me bothering you on your live stream, don't want to be intrusive, but I really like to help you provide. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the other thing too is that other people are going to watch these things, and so, you know, it's if you have a problem and I can explain it well enough, then that means, you know, other people may get solutions as well. So it's not just you getting the benefit out of it either. That's the other thing to think about. Is it going to be static mapping or procedurally generated? It is. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Keldek. It's procedurally generated, so every time I run the game, the map is a little bit different. So here's this map, which looks visually different. The nodes are different here as well. And then if I run it again, this is way different now. So the number of nodes on the screen is variable, as well as the placements of everything and how they're connected. So let's add some traversal, maybe. I want to get traversal working, so let's just see. Very nice, yes. This palette is amazing. Thank you, Matthias. Very much appreciate that. I did not make the palette myself. I got it from Low Spec, but it is a good palette, that's for sure. That is for sure. Okay. How are we going to get the movement working here? So if I go to my map container, we've got this move player to node. I'm gonna do this. Public void force. Let's do set player node. This one, we're gonna make this async task. And in here, what I'll do is I will say var tween, create tween, tween.tween property, player, string, player dot, oops, node 2D dot property name dot position, final value, run map node dot position, duration 0.5. We'll just do linear for now. Change that later. Wait to signal tween dot signal name dot finished. Okay. On map node clicked. We're going to need to disable clicking in here as well. Disable to do, disable clicking. So we'll do that later. Let's see what that does. Hello, Zane. Welcome back. How difficult is it picking up GDScript in your opinion? I'm coming from about 20 years of PHP, SQL, JS, and variations in Bash scripting with some experience. Oh yeah, it's going to be super simple. Once you just get the syntax down, which is, it'd probably take you like a half hour, honestly. It's super easy. I agree with Craig. Started coding with QBasic. Not sure if you're old enough to have messed with that at all. No. No, your 20 years of experience is a full 2/3 of my entire lifetime, so probably not. But yeah, you'll have an absolutely fine time. Hello, David. Welcome to the stream. Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. Let's click on this. Zoop. Yeah, nice. Cool, cool. I'm going to add a little bit of here. Tween.tween interval 0.5. We probably also want to change the player's flip h. Player.flip h is equal to that. This is just inconsequential visual stuff, but I think it's still important. Why am I not allowed to visit this again? Oh, right. So I need to track visited nodes as well. Let's do that now before I forget. Private hash set run map node. Visited nodes. Let's do read only. Do I need to create this in a deferred fashion still? Do I? No, I don't think so. Create the map up there. Scroll all the way back down. If visited nodes dot contains run map node, return visited nodes dot add run map node here. You know what I'm going to do? I'll make a different state for traveling. If not, state machine.get current state is equal to state map. We'll return here. Oh, what am I doing? So if we're not in the map state, then I'm just going to disable any sort of clicking. So that handles that to do. Okay. So I should be able to traverse to nodes that I've already visited now, but without them triggering the event. I probably do need a travel state. So state machine dot add states. State map travel, enter state map travel. Private void, enter state map travel. I don't know what I'm gonna do in here. State machine dot change state state map travel. I have a problem here. This current run map node needs to be set here. Enter state map travel. Let's do an async void await current run map node. I'm going to remove this from here. And I'm going to put that in the state machine. I think that makes more sense. This is no longer necessary because the start node is being marked as a visited node, so we can get rid of that. Okay. So is that making things a little bit nicer here? Let's take a gander. What? That's not right. Oh, maybe I never added that. Right. Add the run map.start node to the visited nodes here. I never added that, so now it should be fine. I still can't go back. Why not? Why am I not allowed to go back? Oh, I can't move at all. What in the heck? Oh, I know. Right, I need to change back to the state map state. If visited node contains current map node, state machine, change state, state map, and then return here. Get the card upgrade, kerblam, boom. Get another card upgrade here. I need a way of leaving this because if you enter a card upgrade and you can't upgrade any cards, then that's not going to be good. We'll go to the combat here. Kerblam, boom. Let's just auto-resolve this. That's a soft lock because I haven't finished that yet. Really appreciated the recent code review video. I'm just implementing a callable state machine, so it was really useful. Awesome, yeah. I have another code review video coming up soon. I was hoping to release it this weekend, but I have a sponsor lined up for that video. So it will probably be out sometime next week instead. So apologies for the delay, but I want to get into like the cadence of releasing one of those code review videos every like 2 weeks or so, because they're relatively easy to produce and I think they're super useful. So I just need like an hour and a half to sit down and like actually poke around in the project, and then probably like an hour or so to edit, and the video is basically done. So it's nice, it's easy for me to produce, and also it's super useful. So definitely more of that coming. Good morning, Christopher. Always good to see you. Started delving into Python a little recently with local LLM stuff. It's been pretty easy to pick up so far. That gives me motivation, confidence. Yeah, Python is a little bit weird, especially if you're coming from the OOP static typing world, but I do like Python to some extent. Find it very difficult to understand the state machine tutorials. They're incredibly convoluted, but that's probably just my inexperience. Yeah, I mean, I think the way to think about a state machine is it's just a flow chart. So if you just imagine a flow chart where each node on the flow chart is a state, and then the edges are the state transitions, and just imagine that you call code on state transition away from a node and into a node, and then there's state that is part of the node that you can tick every frame or whatever. That's basically it. That's all a state machine is. Yeah, they are useful, yeah. Do you think the new video will be out this weekend? I think, yeah, I already answered that. I'm a little bit behind the chat. Apologies. Hello, Neozoid. Welcome, welcome. All my homie love map. Yes, indeed, Jackson. Is that Godot that you write your code in? I've been trying to figure out, as when I'm writing code, it doesn't come up with half of the amount of suggestions that you get. Yeah, it's C#, the C# Godot stuff. So all you need is a C# IDE and the mono version of Godot. And if you open up the Godot CS project file in a C# IDE, it should automatically give you all the IntelliSense and everything. Yeah, exactly. It's not... so Godot comes with the sort of SDK, the C#. I don't know if SDK is the right word, but the C#... Maybe it is an SDK. Yeah, basically, like, it's part of, like, loading up the Godot. Because if you look at CS project, yeah, godot.net.stk. So it's loading up the Godot SDK for you, which contains all of the references to all the classes and methods and all that stuff. I'll just skip over. Thank you, everyone, for being helpful, by the way. I'll just skip over all the messages that you're answering for other people. Async void methods, yes, indeed. Old Rod KS, welcome back. Good to see you again. Hello, Tushigata, or Toshigata. Recently, or really enjoying the streams. Is this game going to be an next commercial release? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hopefully, we'll see. I'm running up against the clock here because I'm going to run out of money by the end of the year. But that's why I'm producing the course now. That should help me out quite a bit. .NET SDK, yeah, it's .NET, yeah. As far as, or as I've been doing my own state machine, classes not callables, there are some quirks of GDScript that make it janky in places. No dict typing as of 4.3. Can't get class name as a string programmatically. Oh yeah, that's... There are some things like that in Godot that are, like, not present. I don't like the fact that there's no proper method overriding in GDScript, if I'm not mistaken. Or am I wrong about that? Maybe don't quote me on that. I don't remember. All right, so I'm soft locked here. But anyway, this is looking pretty good. This is looking pretty good. Let's draw up an icon for a visited node. I'm just going to do this real quick. Map improvements. I'm going to draw up an icon for a visited node real quick. I'm just trying to think. What do I want the icon just to be a dot, maybe? maybe that's what I want to do. Kerblam. That is 10 pixels away there. 11 pixels away there. Oh, it's not centered. That's fine. Doesn't need to be centered perfectly. Cool. Let's export those. So now I need to make those map nodes visited. So map node. Public void set visited. Private texture 2D visited icon. Export private texture 2D visited icon highlight. There we go. I'm not actually changing the icons at all. Private sprite 2D icon. This is going to be a nightmare, I think. Icon.texture is equal to visited icon. Icon highlight.texture is equal to visited icon highlight. Okay, let's get that configured first. So build the project so I can get those export variables here. I'm just going to copy this. And then inside of the map node here, visited icon, paste, paste, make unique. Oops. Make unique. Cool. So now I need to call that set visited somewhere. In the map container, move player to node. Let's do this. Public void set node as visited. Run map node. Run map node. Now I guess I do need a dictionary here. Private dictionary run map node to map node. Read only. Run map node to map node. Node equals map node. So we got that going on there. Set map. Let's do run map node to map node dot clear. Just to be safe. Set node is visited. Run map node to map node. Run map node set visited. That sounds like a rap. Run map node to map node. Run map node. Anyway, so move player to node. Let's find all references. That's over here. GameUI.mapContainer.set node as visited. Current run map node. Actually, we'll do that down here. Just to make it logically grouped with the data here. Let's see what happens. I thought async void methods were generally discouraged. I guess since generally there are cases where they're fine. Well, I mean, if you were to return something, it would be a task. But if you don't need to await, like, so the case where I was using it was a signal handler, which Godot calls automatically, which cannot have a return type of anything. I don't think it can have a return type of anything. So a signal handler has to return nothing all the time. So if I were to try to do some asynchronous code inside of a signal handler method, I would not be able to return anything but void. But also, there's no point in returning a task if that method is not going to be awaited elsewhere. So I don't know why it's generally discouraged, but there's a way to get in touch with you outside of YouTube. Yeah, you can send me an email at admin@firebelly.com. I think that's also on my website, firebelly.com. So yeah, if you want to send me an email, feel free to go ahead and do that. How would you recommend that I make my project in C#? As following your steps coding in GD script, it would be harder to visualize and change to C# code. I think it's better to learn GD first. Yeah, if you're learning Godot, it's probably best to stick with GD script. C# is basically like the same APIs and everything, it's just C#. So I think for learning Godot, yeah, it's probably easier to not add too much to your plate at once and just stick with GD script for now. The sprite build isn't working, I think I might just pay for it. Classic. I like the double outlines, by the way. Thank you, Emerson. Oh, I see. Even though I don't feel confident yet to work as a developer, I need to post it here. Oh, very nice, Leonardo. Very nice. Congratulations. That workflow. Some goals there takes me nearly an hour to do one small detail. Yeah, I think I've gotten pretty proficient in the things. That's why I stick to what I know, because I'm pretty productive with the things that I'm using, but oh, that's in response to Craig. Don't let perfection be the enemy of progress, right? Oh, generally to do with exceptions. I see, yeah. You can't really handle exceptions if you have an async void. Followed you on Twitter as well. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, you can send me a DM on Twitter, although I don't know what it is. Like, I don't get... Like, the DM notifications are not reliable, so I, like, miss DMs all the time. This combat screen needs some more work as well. Oh, I keep going into combats and I'm, like, soft-locked. Ugh. Okay. I need to figure out what I'm doing with those combat encounters. Like I said, what I think I'm going to do is the combat encounters, instead of getting a choice of combat encounter when you enter it, I'm just going to make the combats generate with a certain configuration on the map. And so, like, this might be a difficult combat here, you know, or this might be an easy one. Alchemy, go. Thank you. I have to change this text maybe too. I'm going to change that actually a little bit. I'm going to make this bigger. Uh-oh, here comes the cat. What? Come here. What? What are you doing? What? Really? There he is. Here's the cat. What are you doing? Do you want to say anything to the stream? You want to say anything? No? Okay. Okay. Let's see how this looks. I'll change the text to something like, or maybe I'll just remove the text. Upgrade, boom, boom. It's been a long road, yeah. Well, everything worth doing takes a long time. Is what I've learned. Okay, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna go back to the way it was. It looked better as like a smaller node. And what I'll do is I'll just remove the text for the visited. Okay, 1 second. The cat is screaming. Let me go see. Goodness. Have you considered streaming over Twitch as well? Yeah, I don't for a couple of reasons. The main reason being that the Twitch terms of service don't allow you to show chat from other platforms on stream. So I would not be able to show YouTube chat on a Twitch stream. So that's like, I'd have to change how the chat appears or just not show chat on stream, which is kind of like, you know, I don't know. Set the type label .visible to false here. Not just DMs. Yeah, there's a couple of problems with Twitter for sure. Now it looks like a sidewalk paver, yeah. Uh-oh, here goes. No one follows that rule. Yeah, that's true. I guess I could try it, and if I get like banned from Twitch, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Yeah, that's true. Oh, I keep going into combat. I don't want that. Ah, I thought I changed this. Did I not re-export this? Oh my gosh, I keep doing that. That's annoying. So I think with some more animations and stuff, this is going to look really good. Why is that not appearing? Oh my gosh. Oh, okay, let's try that. Goodbye. Okay, it's looking pretty good, I guess, and I can backtrack if I want. The start is not being marked as visited, or it's not having its icon updated. Got the little Amanita muscaria. Look at that, very nice. What is going on here? So you could theoretically avoid combat the entire time depending on how the map generates. Maybe I'll make that a little bit more difficult though. I wonder why these icons aren't appearing. That's concerning. So I should probably make it so that the things that are out of range are not clickable, or at least they show some kind of error or something that they're out of range. So obviously there's no counter now bringing the player into the boss fight, which I'll maybe I'll work on that some more. There's like no combat encounters. Was there no combat encounters on this map? Oh goodness, I don't think there was. So I'm gonna need to change that for sure. Maybe I'll have like a minimum combat encounter. So maybe we'll work on that next. Let me get that start working though, in the run manager here. Here. Create map. Okay, that should work. So now let's see. Cool. The flip H is kind of a problem here. Let me do this. Scale. Oops. Maybe I'll just change the scale instead. Player.scale is equal to new vector 2. Like so. That should make it aligned a little bit nicer. There we go. So now the player's feet is like right on top of the thing. That's what I wanted. Kerblam. Obviously, more animations and all that stuff is going to help quite a bit, but one thing at a time, I suppose. All right, let's work on generating more combat encounters. Maybe we'll make the combat encounters a little bit more intelligently generated. So maybe we'll have a minimum amount of combat encounters. Some of them will be placed randomly, but maybe the nodes, certain nodes will have a higher combat percentage weight. So I'm thinking that nodes that have a lot of connections. So let me see a good candidate here. Like this one has 4 connections, 4 edges, right? So this is already a combat by happenstance, but making the nodes that have lots of edges more likely to be combat encounters, I think is going to be interesting because I can kind of use the amount of connections as a heuristic to how critical this node is for traversal. So it kind of like, you can say that generally speaking, nodes that have a lot of edges are critical paths for reaching other nodes, right? And in this case, it would be true. I can't get to this shop or this alchemy or this shop without going through this combat first, right? Now that's just a general heuristic. That's not always going to be the case. But I think if I just add that kind of weighting or that bias in, it's going to create more interesting and more challenging maps. So we'll do that. And obviously I'm going to want some kind of nice transition into these screens here. Lots of work to do for sure, but anyway. You stream on both the rare times you stream? Nice. Can't you just skip the chess scene for now? Yeah, I should do that for sure. Just wondering which platform would offer you a wider audience. Well, so far the YouTube audience has been great. For sure. Maybe Start should have some type of home icon anyway, so you can always see where you started this level from. I do have an icon for it. I drew like this little hut thing. But yeah, I don't know if that's going to look good. I don't know. We'll see. Start should always be visited. Yeah, indeed. Indeed. Have you thought about the game's name? I think you already have a solid foundation identity for it, so maybe it's easier to come up with good names now. Yeah, I have a name in mind, but I'm going to wait on it. I may not reveal the name until I have like a Steam page up, even. Just in case, like, I utter the name and some rando comes along and takes it. You know, I'm a really big fan of like one-word titles. I've always been that way, so like when I'm trying to like name an app or a game or something, I generally try to use just one word. And I think you'll notice that too on my itch.io page. Let's see. Maybe I lied. It's fine. Globbins, Banish Pit, Smack Demon, Ace of Sphinx. Okay, I lied. Haywire though. But they're very short, like 2 words. Wow, these are like, okay, I guess I lied completely. But I do like trying to come up with a one-word name. There's some games on here that I haven't played in a long time. Grave Juice is such a banger, though. I love that game. It's like my favorite jam game I've ever made with my friend. Haywire is fun, too. I like Haywire. Farmer's Incoming is a good one. Dang, I need to get back into game jams. Anyway. Hello, Dragon Apple. Welcome back. Necromancer Grid Game. Yeah, that's what the Steam page is going to show. Necromancer Grid Game. Any BGM? Is that background music? I've decided for the alchemy game. I don't know what BGM means. That's clever. Thank you. All right, so let's change how the combat encounters are generated in the second half of the stream here. But before I do that, I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break. And in the meantime, please check out the links in the description below. I'm going to go get a refill on my drink and all that good stuff. And then when I come back, like I said, we'll do the combat stuff. All right, I'm back. Name it like a super long anime name. True. Bodacious gigantic manliness. Oh, goodness. I'm not making a not safe for work game here. Any chances of taking part in GMTK? Yes, I will be. That's at the end of July, right? So, oh, wait. Maybe I won't be. I don't know. I want to. We'll see. Welcome, Joshua. Welcome back. Oh, yeah. BGM is background music, yeah. I don't have any music in place. I'll probably just go and find a good composer to do it. I kind of want it to... The music should feel kind of retro and like spooky, I think. Probably will need all kinds of different music, though. There will need to be like a map overworld music. Maybe not. That could get annoying. No, I guess there could be overworld music that plays when you're not in combat. So even if you go to like one of this event, that music keeps playing. But when you go to combat, then maybe a different combat music. I don't know. I haven't thought about music and sound effects yet. Probably something that I need to do. But anyway, let's work on the combat stuff. So we got the run map generator here. Where is the combat being generated? Assign node types. Here we go. So right now it's just a raw 25% chance to create a combat node. So let's do this. I'm generating... private const int min nodes 15. Private const int max nodes equals 20. Let's put min nodes and max nodes in here. Okay. So in assign node types, just thinking real quick. So in assign node types, what I want to do is let's create var minimum combat nodes is equal to min nodes divided by, so we're at 15. If I divide that by 4, that's going to be 3, I think. Let's do divided by 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. The cat is screaming right now. Azir! I don't know what his deal is. Okay, so combat nodes is equal to mathutil.rng.randi range. Minimum, maximum. So there's our combat nodes. So now we need to choose which nodes become combat nodes. Definitely think you should reconsider lighting. Would be great to have a light texture on that lantern. Okay, I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Introduce new colors and violate the strict palette rule he made for himself. Yes, unless I wrote like a light shader that just changes the color to a color that's on the palette. That could be interesting, but also probably wouldn't look that great. Constraint. Yes, it would violate the constraint. Yeah, for sure. I know you're working on the Godot multiplayer course. Wondering if you are using Godot eNet only, or if you're going to use a third-party project package in conjunction. Just the eNet. So it's just going to be focused on the Godot high-level multiplayer. And it's going to be a server authoritative structure, which means that there is going to be a round-trip latency for input, because what's essentially going to happen in the course is the connected peers are going to send their inputs to the server is going to run the game, or the simulation, and then rebroadcast all of the new state that is necessary for replication on the clients. So that's kind of like the naive way of doing server authority. I am going to do maybe a lesson or two on client-side prediction, at least exposing people to the concept and then pointing them in the direction of resources they can look at to do that. And then also I might mention like the various Godot, Steam, and whatnot that have like the Steam networking built in. But I think, without making the course too terribly long and too terribly confusing, I think the course is just going to be narrowly focused on the Godot high-level multiplayer and showing people how to work with that. Because as long as you have a good foundation with that, it is not as much of a leap to go into using something like NetFox for client-side prediction, or using Godot Steam to utilize Steam's networking either. So that's my opinion. I'm sure your cat is screaming, I am Shurima's Dawn, maybe. Azir is my favorite legend in League of Legends as well. Really? That's funny. I put so many hours into Azir. So when I was playing League of Legends, there was a period of time where I was in Diamond in ranked. The highest I ever got was Diamond 3. And I was not there for very long. But I was typically at like high platinum, low diamond, and I would sometimes I would just always play mid lane. But if I couldn't get mid lane, I would unironically and literally play Azir in top lane or as the carry in bottom lane. And that had a tendency to like really irk my teammates, but that's what I did. Azir top lane is actually pretty good, because the thing about that is that no one is used to playing against Azir in top lane, and so as soon as you get your ult, like the top laner just gets a little bit froggy and you just ult them into your turret and then you get a free kill. It like that worked like 60 or 70% of the time. It was so funny. Any ETA on when the course will be out? Probably sometime in June. I think the majority of the course will be finished by the end of this month. But then, June, I think, is when it will probably come out. Used to love doing the faker move of jumping onto them and using the ult to push them into my tower. Yes, exactly, yeah. And if you could banana properly, right? So you, like, place down your soldier or whatever over the terrain, and then fly to the soldier and then send the soldier in a different direction. So you, like, curve around them and then you ult them into the turret. And, I had the combo down just right so that if I took Ignite, I could execute the combo and then the Ignite would finish them off every time. It was so, makes me want to play League of Legends again. Makes me want to play League of Legends again. Yeah, good, yeah. I think you guys are going to like the course, hopefully. We'll see. Banana strat was amazing, yes indeed. I hit some insane bananas a couple of times. But anyway, enough reminiscing. Let me go check on something really quick. All right. Then you open League of Legends, immediately get mad at all the toxicity, and then log back off. Yeah, I mean, that's how it goes. I mean, maybe I was part of the problem. I used to trash talk the mid lane so hard. But it was fun. Anyway. So I've got my comment nodes that I want to generate here. If node equals map start node, yeah, we're going to skip that. So let's do this. Map.nodes.orderby. x.connections.count plus mathutil.rng.randfn. We'll do a mean of 0 and a deviation of 0.5 maybe. So basically what I'm doing here, var nodes fuzzily ordered by edge count. So what I'm doing in here is, what is going on? Oh, this is bugging out. There we go. This needs to be ordered by descending. So what I'm doing is I'm essentially ordering the map nodes by the connections descending. So the highest number of connections will be first in the list, but I'm also adding a little bit of fuzziness to it in the form of this random distribution. So I'm going to subtract or add to the count, and that's just going to shuffle the order a little bit. I can't shuffle just the entire array. I want there to be a bias at the start of the array towards nodes with more connections, but I don't want it to be just strictly ordered by nodes with the most connections. So I'm adding a little bit of fuzziness in there to kind of shuffle the beginning of the array, but generally speaking, the pattern will be the first portion of the array is going to contain the highest concentration of edge counts, and then the end of the array is going to have the lowest. But there's going to be like overlap. They're not going to be perfectly ordered. So that should add a little bit of variability. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say, let's do .take combat nodes. This keeps bugging out. I don't know why this does this. Okay, so I'm going to take the amount from that list there. Got an IE numeral for each var node in nodes fuzzily ordered by edge count. We're going to say node.set event type dot combat. And then let's do var assigned nodes equals new hash set run map node. Assigned nodes dot add node. And then I'm also going to do assigned nodes dot add map dot start node. Okay, and then in here, I'm just going to say if assigned nodes dot contains node, so we don't reassign it. And we'll get rid of this is combat check. All right, let's see how that looks. I was about to say the same thing, not to mention everyone is insanely good now. Yeah, back in the days when I was in Diamond or whatever, it was definitely the case that people are just not caught up to the game. You know, I think that's the case of any multiplayer game. Like, the longer a multiplayer game goes on, the higher and higher the skill floor gets, which means that even if the skill ceiling isn't changing, it's like compressing everyone together, meaning that there's less room. Like, you can't make as much gain if you're not noticeably better. Combat. Okay, so we've got combat there, combat there. Combat there. Okay, that looks pretty sensible. Combat there, combat there. So yeah, I basically can't get out of the start without entering some kind of combat. There's a lot of combats here, goodness. Like, here's a perfect example. I can't get to this whole branch of the map without doing a combat encounter. But then if I get past that combat encounter, I get all of these for free, basically. Now, I am going to tie certain rewards to the combat, probably the blood currency. So if you want to get your currency, you have to engage in combat. So there's going to be an incentive to engage in combats beyond just, you know, being an annoyance. So they're going to be an event like any other, which you might want to choose intentionally at some points. But that's looking pretty good. I want to solve the problem with leaf nodes as well to minimize the backtracking. This is looking pretty good though. So I think the way that this is working is basically leaf nodes are never going to be chosen as combat encounters. So I think that's fine. Yeah, I think this is fine. We'll have to play test it obviously, but generally speaking, I think it's okay. Oh, you know what? Minimum combat nodes. I did this wrong. This should be map.node count divided by 4. And let's do map.node count divided by 3. Cool. All right, let's fix the leaf nodes now. So change combat generation algorithm. Okay. And then what did I say? Oh, we got to identify the leaf shortcut. Let's do a repair leaves, I guess. Repair leaves. Leaf nodes is equal to... Oh, this needs to be a run map in here. What do you want, cat? What? What do you want? Why are you screaming? Why are you screaming? I don't know what you want. What do you want? Okay. All right. What do you want? I don't know what you want. The problem with team-based games is it takes teammates to play. I hate people. True. It's like every kind of competitive game will have some level of toxicity. Yeah, for sure. Did we scrap the wagons? No, the wagons are still in place. I just need to figure out a better way of placing decorations. Because right now they all have an equal chance of being placed, and that means that wagons get placed way too frequently. Do you use A-star calc for the map nodes to jump to? No, it's not A-star because you can only move to nodes that are direct connections of your current node. So there's no pathfinding required at all. It's just, does the node you want to go to exist as along an edge, you know, or does it share an edge with the node that you're currently on? Will you change the icons for different nodes? Yes, I will draw an icon for every node type. Reenacting the Notebook with Azir. Yeah. Yes, indeed. He's my buddy. You're my buddy. Yes, I know. I know. You're annoying sometimes. Do you know that? You're annoying sometimes. I've never been so distracted ever by a creature so tiny. Okay, so we're going to get the leaf nodes, which is any node where the connections count is equal to 1. For each var leaf in leaf nodes, Now what we're going to do is we're going to... Do I have the excluded edges? Oh, I don't have the excluded edges. I need to know which edges were excluded by the minimum spanning tree, which means that I probably don't want to make this a separate method. I'll probably just put this in here. So let's see. Var valid excluded edges is equal to where x, yep, thank you AI for doing that for me. So for every leaf node that we have, we're going to check all of the edges that were excluded from the map to see which edges contain the leaf as either the node A or the node B. And then what we'll do is we'll say map.add shortcut, and we're going to take a, and I don't know, this should be fine. So, I mean, I guess I'll just add that for safety, but I don't think there ever is going to be a leaf which did not have multiple edges connected to it. Actually, that's not possible as a result of the triangulation that was done. So I'm just going to leave that out. Map.add shortcut. So we want to get the var random edge is equal to mathutil RNG. Yep, indeed. Valid excluded edges.count -1. Sure. And then we're going to add the random edge. So we're going to add one random edge to every leaf node, which should fix the issue. And let's see if that works. Hello, cat. Are you hungry? Is that what you are? Are you hungry? All right, we should have no leaf nodes now. So we still got some interesting paths. I can only go one of two directions from the start here. And I get thwarted by combats every time I try to go somewhere interesting, which is great. So let's see. I can go to upgrade card here. Okay, and I can go to upgrade card there. Yeah, this is great. So yeah, I'm not really able to go very far without engaging in a combat encounter, which is exactly what I wanted. But there are still situations in the map where I do get multiple chains of uninterrupted upgrades, which is great. So like if I got through this combat here, I could go grab this enchant, grab this enchant, grab this max health here. And what I could do is I could grab this enchant as well, but that would require a backtrack. So I could skip that if I wanted to avoid backtracking and instead go this way and grab all these things. So there's actually some interesting choices being added in here, which is great. Now this is a problem. This, if I were to go down this loop, that would require a backtrack here. But I think generally speaking, you should be able to go through the map without doing much backtracking. This is, let's see. I wonder if this was originally going to be a leaf node. Because I could, if this was a leaf node and I just randomly chose to add this one as an edge, I could have chosen this edge here instead, and that would remove the need for a backtrack. Because then I could go this way, this way, this way, and continue on that way. But this is like a loop here, which if I want to go down and grab this shop, I have no choice but to backtrack. Because I have to get this combat, and then I have to do this, and then I have to revisit the combat here. So my hunch is that this was a leaf node, and then it randomly chose that edge. I'm sure there's an algorithm that I can use to determine if the backtracking is necessary to pick an edge that makes that not possible. The map is looking pretty good though. If you really want to get fancy about placing combat nodes, you could potentially use a max flow min cut. Oh, you are too smart for me, Pat. Max flow min cut. What is max flow min cut with respect to graph theory? Max flow min cut theorem is a fundamental result that relates two important concepts in the flow network: maximum flow and minimum cut. In a flow network, a directed graph where each edge has capacity, the maximum flow is the greatest amount of flow that can be sent from a source node S to a sink node T without exceeding the capacities of the edges. A cut is a partition of the vertices of the graph into two disjoint subsets, such that the source is in one subset and the sink is in another. That might be a little bit too technical. So I'm assuming what you're suggesting then is I could figure out using this which nodes are like critical to the path, the flow, in other words. This is too smart for me. This is too smart for me. Exactly. I mean, I kind of see, I would have to work with it, but I kind of see what this would do. So especially this part here, two disjoint subsets such that the source is in one subset and the sink is in another. So the sink being the place where you want the flow to be directed towards, or generally directed towards, right? So I guess for every node, you could kind of figure out the sink for that node, or where the edges are generally flowing to. And then you could identify the sinks and place combat encounters there. Is that right? Am I getting that, or am I just completely making something up? Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do that. Explain like I'm going to do high school freshman. Imagine you're playing a game where you move through a map with different locations. This code creates that map for you. Map is made up of nodes. Right, I got that. Connect the nodes, add shortcuts, randomize. What about distance? What? Oh, it's explaining the code that I wrote. Okay, well, that's not right. Okay. Explain this concept like I'm a high school freshman. So source is the start node and sink is a phantom node connected to all the nodes on the edge of your graph. Oh, I see. Imagine you're designing a board game where players move through a map. Yes, the code is like a map builder. Okay, it's just explaining my code again. I don't know. Okay, well, that's not useful. Anyway, it's a good concept. I think it's something good to probably research. Right. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask the AI actually here. How, in the highlighted code, how can I choose an edge based on whether it's going to create a loop or not? I want to place a shortcut that minimizes the need for backtracking. Union find. I don't think that's going to work because even if I connected this here, there would still be a loop between these four. I just want to avoid this situation. Is there a simpler way of thinking about this? I basically just need to identify this kind of thing happening, this triangular loop, without also identifying something like this. Because that, why is it dark all of a sudden? Because that is fine, because I can go up this way. What AI model are you using? GPT-4. Oh, yes, that's correct. That's what it just defaults to. I can change it down here, though. I don't think that's going to work. I mean, is it as simple as just detecting triangular loops? No, that wouldn't work because it would find that. Let me run the game a couple more times and see what kind of outputs we get. Ooh, this is an interesting loop around here. Added a lot of edges in here. That's interesting. Oh, look at that edge. Wow. Just travel all along that. It's going to look so good when there's more icons. See, like, these maps are being generated without much need for backtracking, which is great. I just need to identify those little triangular loop things. And I don't exactly know how that's going to work. What, cat? What do you want? What? What? I think the cat gets excited when the weather warms up. Because he's not perpetually cold anymore. What? So I'm not seeing any more maps generated like that first one. So it must be a very rare case. I think the only way that case can happen is if I put an edge on a leaf node. That creates that loop. Generally speaking, though, it looks pretty good. So the odds of being forced to have one backtrack is pretty low, right? Exactly. I think it's pretty low, but I still don't want it to happen. As you're saying, when you follow me, you follow destiny. Are you looking for a Hamiltonian path? Path that visits every node without backtracking? I don't want... The thing is, I want to have a Hamiltonian path that is for a subset of the graph, because I'm not necessarily opposed to backtracking anywhere, but I don't want the player to have to be forced to backtrack in any particular location. Maybe that's the same thing. Maybe the Hamiltonian is what I want. So I guess if I just made sure there's no backtracking in the map anywhere, that would be the same thing, right? Same result. I've seen some disaster movies like 2012, yeah. This is odd here. I need to find a way of preventing that from happening. There's like an overlap of paths here. These two are connected to each other, and then these two are connected to each other. That's weird. So I have to find a way to fix that, I think. Why is that happening? I know it'll be difficult to change now, but having some kind of seed to generate the map would make testing these cases easier. Yeah, I should add a seed, actually. Actually, that's something that I've been wanting to do, so maybe I'll add that now, because that is going to be very useful for testing. Private read-only RNG. So we're going to require a random number generator in here. Var RNG is equal to new random number generator. RNG.randomize. RNG in there. Then we're going to print g.print this.rng.seed. And then anywhere we're using mathUtil.rng, we're going to replace this with RNG like so. And that should do it. That should do it. Oops. Let's see what happens. Why not give some meaning to backtracking so the player doesn't feel like they're wasting their time? Well, I want to make the map so that you don't have to backtrack. And if you do backtrack, it'll be because you're trying to avoid something, which means that you basically get to avoid something if you backtrack, but it's going to cost you one of your traversal budget things. So the idea is that, you know, if you play the game and you just, you know, like you should be able to do it without backtracking. Like that should be an option the game gives you. But if you want to backtrack, it will cost you one of your movements, basically. That's the way I'm going to set it up initially, but we will see. We will see how that goes. Just because a subsection is Hamiltonian, it doesn't mean that the whole thing is from the start. That path wouldn't be the best path for the player given the encounter's order. Right, I guess that's true. Yeah. The area of the shape. Oh, that's a good idea. Thought it'd be more work to do. That's great. Yeah, no, I've been kind of like, I do want to have like seed-based runs, so I've been leaving the code open to that possibility. So I guess we'll just generate this and see if we can get another one of those loops to happen. I'm not seeing any here. I'm also not seeing any there. This is a good map, actually. I like that a lot. Here's one, right? So I can't go to any of these nodes here without having to guaranteed backtrack to this one. Okay, so let's grab the seed for that one. And if I go to my run manager here, rng.seed is equal to that. And so now if I run the game again, I should get that loop. There it is, same map. All right, so I bet you this is going to change though. Well, maybe not actually. Let me, without changing when the randomization code is called, I'm going to remove this random edge add here and see what that looks like. Oh, I see. So we've got two leaf nodes in this case. And what they did is they both decided to connect to that. I see. So I wonder if it would be easier from the start just to ensure that each node is visitable without backtracking, and then I can randomly add edges back in. That's probably going to be easier. What? That's probably going to be easier than trying to figure out how to resolve this case specifically. Do you invest time in writing tests for your games once the systems start to stabilize? I do not, no. I don't think that writing tests is useful in solo projects. Maybe in like very specific circumstances, but I've never really been that big of a fan of tests in my personal work. How's the mapping? It's going well. It's going well. Leaves shouldn't connect to an ancestor on their leaf path. Oh. Yeah, that makes sense. So let me see if I can figure that out then. Hold on, give me 1 second. I gotta go inspect what the cat is doing. All right, sorry about that. My cat has been having gastrointestinal issues, and he was just doing a number 2, so I had to inspect and see how he's coming along. Sorry if that's too much TMI, too much information. But anyway, so we want to avoid ancestors. So how do I know? Because a leaf node has a number of ancestors, right? Ultimately, I want to target this ancestor and say, I don't want to connect to this. But this could also be considered to be an ancestor here, right? Is that right? Yeah, that would also be an ancestor. So if I said don't connect to an ancestor, it wouldn't be able to connect to that one either. But if I was able to connect to that one, and then I connected this one to that one, oh wait, that would also create a backtrack. So this is actually the ancestor here. It's not this one. This is the ancestor. So would it be the case that the ancestor, the proper ancestor is an ancestor that has more than 2 connections? Or should I not be using the edge count at all? I think that makes sense. Sometimes being a pet owner is, yes, indeed. Good one, Adam. Very nice. Good one. Can we get claps for Adam for that wonderful Wonderful pun. Can I get some claps in the chat? So how do I actually identify the ancestor then? So I'd have to traverse up the connections list until I find a node that has more than 2 connections. I don't know if that logic is right though. So basically what I want to do is connect this one to that one. And then this one to that one. Thank you, Emerson. Thank you. So let me just ask the AI. Write a method to get the well, I don't know. Maybe I should just do it myself. I don't even know what to call this. Let's just do private run map node, get ancestor. This is not going to work correctly, but if node dot connections dot count is greater than 2, return node. Oh, you know what? I need to get all the ancestors actually. So, because I don't want to connect it to this one or that one. So I basically need to get all the ancestors. It's already connected to that one, but that's fine. So I don't want to connect it to that one or that one or that one. This is probably not going to work. For each var node in... No, this is not going to work either. My graph is not directed here. Well, I guess this might work. So for each var node in... For each var connection... I can make this just a hash map. I don't need this to be ordered. So we'll skip I have no clue if this is going to work. I think I'm messing up the recursion here. whatever. Let's see if it works. Oh, I need to do this. Ancestors. Let's go to new hash set. Run map node. Okay, I'm just gonna see what this does. Launch. Let's debug. Any day now. Thank you. How many leaf nodes do we have? Make my life easy, please. Nope. Position is 47. 236. So that's the lead. Okay, so this one is the first one. Oh, it didn't get any ancestors, so I just did it wrong. Okay, I apparently don't know how to do this. Start node connections that count. Why is that not working? I'm gonna get rid of this. The cat is still screaming. Very nice. Okay, I get it. I know. I get it. $47, 180. This is not working. This is absolutely 100% not working. I need a better way. I need to figure out. I don't even need to get all the ancestors. I do, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to identify these easily though in the debugger. Well, I know for a fact that the ancestors list should not be a length of 1. Because if it's running for this one or this one, it should be 3. So I obviously did something wrong here. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Might have to get the AI to help me out with this one. Modify this code and get ancestors to return all ancestors of the leaf node which have 2 or fewer edge connections. Let's have the AI do it. I should have staged my changes first. Maybe it was just this problem. Anyway, let's keep. How is this not going to create an infinite loop, though? That's what I'm wondering. Anyway, let's see. Have the AI do my dirty work for me, I suppose. Still only 1 node? That's not right. Oh, I wonder, hold on a second. Oh, you know what I should do? I should remove this here. Let's see how this works. So it's only returning one ancestor. I think I know why that's happening. No, I don't know why that's happening. Oh well. Wondering how you find using VS Code. Personally shocked how responsive it is given experience with the same heavier IDEs. I like VS Code a lot, yeah. I do think that it feels relatively lightweight. It's been getting a little bit chunkier feeling, for sure. But I generally do think it feels lightweight compared to other IDEs. But yeah, I've always just used VS Code for everything, whether I'm working professionally or with C#. I just feel very comfortable with it. I like how configurable it is. Yeah, can't complain. And it's not as richly featured as more dedicated IDEs. Like I would certainly say that Rider is a better C# IDE than VS Code, but for my purposes, it's just fine. So, and I also have Rider, so I can always open up Rider if I ever want to do something deeper. But yeah, I don't really have a need for that. Considering it's an Electron app, I'm surprised how performant it is. Yeah. It's absolutely true. Rider's nice. Yeah. All right, well, I know you just joined, Charlie, or maybe you've been lurking for a while, but that's going to be it for the stream today, and I might be streaming tomorrow. I don't typically have a stream schedule on weekends, but hit the notification bell if you want to be notified if I go live tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll just be working on the new Godot multiplayer course that I've been working on, and we'll have a new code review video for you all next week at some point, hopefully, depending on how the sponsorship goes. But yeah, thanks again, everyone, for watching. Thanks for being here. I got a lot done in this stream, so that was fun. And yeah, have a good weekend if I don't see you, if I don't talk to you. And I will see you back here on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern. All right. Bye-bye, everyone.